Hello, I'm Rick Stivers. I'd like to welcome you back to Young Martin's Reels. Today we're going to be doing a preview of upcoming fishing reels, and I think I've got 10 or 11 here in the box that were given to me by Ken. I took Ken's reels back to him, the 4 that I did for him last week. I took those back and he gave me a box of, I think, 10 reels, and we're going to see what we can do with them. Some of them are in really bad shape, some of them actually in pretty good shape. We're going to go through them, take care of them, get them set up, and let me show you exactly what it is we've got. Ken picks these reels up at yard sales and estate sales, and they don't cost him a lot, but most of them are not real high-end reels. So let's take a look at what we've got. What is our first reel that he's laid into our hands? This is a Silstar Fr40. This one seems to work fairly well. Yep, bail does not trip all the way. Yeah, bail gets hung up. Let's see if the drag works. The drag does work. Anti-reverse. Let's see, let's flip that bail on down. Anti-reverse switch does work. So this is, like I said, this is a Silstar Fr40 that's going to be coming up. These are not coming in any particular order. They're just whatever happens to be sitting next in the box. This is a Rhino RSC3 spin cast reel, and I don't really see a maker on it. See, it seems to perform okay. Sounds like that's working okay. Anti-reverse is working. Bait clicker works. And this reel happens to be reversible, so you can change it over to the handle on the other side. It's a heavy little reel. It's in good shape, apparently. So if you see any of these reels that you would like to see get done prior to any others, please let me know. This is a nice, small little reel. This is a, who's this made by? Well, again, I don't see any maker on this reel either. It is made in China. It's very lightweight. There's not hardly anything to it. It's a very smooth little reel. It's an AN05. And what that is, I have no idea. Most of the printing is missing off of the spool here. I was hoping I would see a manufacturer. I don't know. I'll do a little research before I do the video on this one and see what we can find out. Let's see if it has anti-reverse working. Anti-reverse works. The drag is working. This one just seems like it needs to be serviced. It doesn't look like it's got a lot of mileage on it, but not a bad little reel. I mean, it's low end. Don't get me wrong. This is a starter reel. More in the line of maybe a first spinning reel for a kid, but I think we can make it functional and make it where we go out and be a really good little reel for catching bluegill. Let's see what's coming up next. Here we have it's a Bantam mag. It's made by Shimano. Manual control. Just says Bantam mag. It's maybe the very first of the Bantam mag reels because there's no number or anything associated with it. There we go. No, it just says Bantam mag. 10X. Bantam mag 10X. So this may very well be the first of the Shimano Bantam mag reels. This one, it's very dirty. I mean, you can look at it and see just how dirty it is. But it's smooth as glass. And the spool doesn't move very well. That it spins a little better now. Okay, yeah, this is definitely one we can clean up, and it's a small little bait caster. This is going to be enjoyable to work on, I believe. Speaking of small bait casters, he also gave me this one, and this is a Dioa Procaster PM10S, and this one appears to mostly be frozen. I don't want to force that too much, but it doesn't turn. It's got a lot of corrosion, and that may be what's binding it right there. There's a lot of corrosion on the worm gear guide rod. There's a lot of dirt in the line guide there, so I don't want to force it. The button is stuck down. The spool does spin. I was able to clean the line off of this yesterday, so we're going to see if we can open this one up. This is one of those, he said, don't be afraid to be rough with it. It's right now the way it is, there's nothing we can do with it, so go ahead and do what you need to do to make it work. So there we go, the Dioa Procaster PM10S. Okay, we got another one of these small little shakes. This is a Shakespeare. It's a small little bait cast, or sorry, spinning reel. And again, another one where the bail doesn't want to flip back over. It gets stuck right about there. We know what to do with that. Okay. Anti-reverse seems to work fine. Wow. Okay, the drag's working. Nice little entry level reel, just like that other one we had before. I think we can make something happen with that. Next, coming out of the box is this Shimano. I can't even fathom how you pronounce that. A meter? Maybe the Y is, wow, this is a very, very stiff bail. There's no way that's going to flip back over on its own. I'll flip it on. Wow, and it's got a chunk in it, like it's got a broken gear. And maybe it's that, but maybe it has something to do with that sticking bail. Maybe the trip release is catching inside there. But it's, let's see. Yeah, I think that's what it is. It's catching right here at this exact spot each time. So I think it's catching on the trip release because the trip release isn't backing out of the way. Okay, we can work with that. How about the anti-reverse? Anti-reverse is working. And now that bail problem went away, but probably will come back as soon as I trip this over and bring it back. There we go, it's sticking again. So yeah, there's a problem with the trip release in here. We will have to work on that. So that one will be up. It's definitely losing the finish. That pretty shiny gold finish that it once had is pretty much gone. But it can still be a solid little reel and made to operate again. What's next on the list? Okay, oh, this one I've really enjoyed seeing this one in the pile. This is a Dioa GS 13X. This reel, it's heavy greased. I can tell inside it's got a lot of grease in it. It's leaching out throughout the rest of it. But this thing, it's tight, but it's such a solid reel. It's got an instant release spool. He's really excited about this one. He wants to fish this reel. This is he won't be moving this one on. He'll be keeping it. But this is such a nice reel. I'm going to be looking for one of these for myself. If he decides that he wants to sell it, I may buy this one off of him. This is a nice reel. So that's one I would like to have myself. Okay, then we have this Shakespeare Cirrus. I used to have one of these, and I caught a lot of really nice fish on this reel. I thought that I had done a video, but I haven't. So I don't know where my Cirrus went to, but I think this is the same one I used. I used to use this reel to catch redfish on, believe it or not, and was highly successful with it. And we'll turn this one around and get it moved back out. There isn't a model number. I don't see anywhere on it, but I'm sure it's the same reel that I used to have. The drag seems to be working on it. Okay. Next, coming out of the box, and this is the final reel that was in his box. Okay, another Shakespeare. This is, let's see if I see anything that specifies what Shakespeare it is. Nope. Nothing on it specifies what model of Shakespeare this is. Now, when he handed me this reel yesterday, the drag was completely froze up on it. So I suspect that when we get in there, we're going to find a lot of corrosion inside there. I did manage to get it broke loose. I loosened the nut all the way and cranked on it a little bit until it popped loose. There we go. There's a model number. CF50, my thumb was over it the whole time. The CF50A. So now we've got a model number for it. It's actually a fairly smooth reel. Anti-reverse works on it. The drag is functional again, but we're going to have to do some cleanup in there. The bail is working, but it's really stiff. So it's got a pretty good spring in it if it's held that tight, but yet still popping over. So those are the reels that we've got. If there's any one in particular of those reels that you would like to see, then please let me know and I'll try to knock those out first. The reels that I'm going to do today are the trim line reels that I talked about. That would be these two, and as soon as I finish this video, I'm going to start a video on how to service these two. And when I'm done with them, if anybody's interested in them, let me know, and we'll see if we can't move them on to you. Otherwise, I'm setting up an eBay account next week, and the reels that I'm doing are going to start disappearing onto eBay, letting them go. So I've got way too many reels to keep here in the house, so they've got to go. So these are the trim line reels. This one is the trim line trim spin, and this one is the trim line trim sport 450. And this one is, there's not much we can do with it except take off the handle, take off the spool, lubricate it as best we can, and send it out the door because they've sealed the body. There's no way to get the body apart. So, but it does function well anyway. So it's not really needing much. This one still functions well also, but we can take it apart, and that's what we're going to do. So we've got those two to do. That's going to be today's video. The video tomorrow is going to be a Shakespeare 1795 that I picked up last weekend at the flea market. And then we're going to step into Ken's box again and start getting those reels knocked out. So if you'd like to see any of those, let me know. For now, that's Young Martin's Reels, signing out.